Hello, my name is Li Zhang, and this PowerPoint is to summarize my last placement of my Master of Early Childhood Teaching degree. Before I start, I would like to acknowledge and pay respect to the traditional owners of the land on which we stand, the Kaurna people of the Adelaide Plains. I respect their spiritual beliefs and connections to land which are of continuing importance to the living Kaurna people of today. I further acknowledge the contributions and important role that Aboriginal people continue to play within our shared community. The school is located in the community of Salisbury and enjoys a fine reputation in the Salisbury area. Total enrollment at this school is about 430 students, comprising 7 junior primary and 8 primary classes. The school classes have about 50% school card recipients, 50% EALD, 8% Aboriginal students, and 13% of students with identified disabilities. The school values persistence, respect, achievement, and cooperation are embedded into the curriculum and are actively promoted in each learning area. I was allocated to year 1, year 2 class, and my class has 21 students with 13 are boys and 8 are girls, and their age are around 6 to 7 years old. This is a multicultural class. Combining students come from Australia, Burma, Afghan, Thailand, Sudan, and German, and Nepal as well. And 70% of the class speak English as their second language, and there are also some students with other kinds of special needs, such as autism, trauma, and hearing impairment. Considering the different learning level of students in my class, the differentiation should cater to all students in my class. And within my class, I chose 3 students who demonstrate diversity in different strengths and abilities. The student 1 is a year 1 girl, and she has trauma, and her learning ability is at pre-foundation learning level. Student 2 I chose is a year 1 boy, and he came from Nepal. He generally completes work to a satisfactory level of year 1. And student 3 I chose is a year 2 boy. He is 7 years old, and he is a ELD student as well. He speaks Burman at home, and he generally completes work to a satisfactory of year 2. During my learning day, I started to build a relationship with both students and their families. I had conversation with their families to get to know their interests and their social context. This is a very important part of my philosophy. Bronfenbrenner's ecological systems theory explains how the qualities of a child and his environment interact to influence how he will grow and develop. And I also started to build the image of every single child. I acknowledged every child as a competent and capable learner, which is one of the key aspects of Reggio Emilia philosophy. According to constructivist theory, I think learners are active in constructing their own language, and prior knowledge is the base of knowledge construction. So at the beginning of each lesson, I will ask open-ended questions, and I will encourage children to brainstorm in order to activate their prior knowledge and refresh their mind. And I also work at each children's zone of proximal development. And I think learning happens in the zone between students' ability to perform a task with assistance and without assistance. So I need to know what children can achieve individually and their academic needs, so I can provide academic support. And I have also scaffolded learning by touching base with individual students. And I also paired lower level students with more capable learners, because I think children will only learn essential skills by observing and learning from the intentional teaching of more skilled peers or adults. I also incorporate play-based approaches in my lesson as possible, and I think play is always purposeful for children, through which children are able to address problem independently, follow up something, impress themselves deeply, and express feelings. And I differentiate my lessons to ensure all students are inclusive, and I also collect evidence that ensures students were progressing through asking questions and having conversation with teachers and students, and I use observations, and I collect their work examples as well. The topic of my unit is money, and it's related to Australian curriculum links in the learning area of mathematics. And according to Kara, in year 1, students should recognize, describe, and order Australian coins according to their value. And year 2, students should count and order small collections of Australian coins and notes according to their value. And I have planned in the long term and the short term. I planned different lessons across the Australian curriculum that were sequenced and interrelated. Each lesson was outcome based and particular learning points were highlighted. I planned open-ended hands-on activities that accommodate those that needed extension and offered extra assistance to those who need it. In the first lesson, I allowed students to order coins according to value and size. And this lesson enables students to understand the different values of each coin and understand that the value of Australian coins is not related to size. And then I differentiate the lessons by dividing into 2 tasks. For lower level students, I just like them to use different ways to make $1 and $2, and for higher students, I give them hard money amount to make, such as $5.20 and $10.90, and this task will vary depends on students' learning ability. In lesson 2, I allowed students to do shopping, use catalog. Students can choose 3 favorite food to make their lunch, and they should order them from the lowest to the highest value, and then they should count the money amount. And for middle and lower group, I ask them to use coins or draw pictures to show money amount in different ways. And I repeated this several times to consolidate their understanding. Lesson 3 was a post-test. I used simple open-ended questions at the beginning of the class to check their current understandings. And for the middle and lower students, I gave them worksheet as a summative assessment. And for higher students, they need to do the shopping activity again, but they need to record coins and notes to pay for the money amount. And then they should finish the worksheet. And I asked the feedback from both students and the teacher who was observing my lesson. And I used the feedback to inform my planning. I also reflect on my practice after my lesson so that I can go back and critically reflect and evaluate my practice to improve it in the future. I collect students' work sample as a part of my formative assessment. I also designed different levels of summative assessment according to their learning abilities. After that, I check their worksheet and write individual report for all students, and that will be put in their personal folio.